Hello! In this segment, we're going to address two exercises or body movements that I have found that really encourage good posture and alignment and also strengthening of muscles that we sometimes don't necessarily maybe use throughout the course of a day. So one of those exercises is called calf raises, and performing them, we want to go through them in a very slow movement so that we can really tap into those places in our bodies so that we may find some restrictions even during some of these movements. So we very slowly find your center, feet about shoulder width apart, and if need be, hold on to something, because in the beginning it's going to be challenging for most because we have not really been using our feet in this manner much. So holding on to something, it could be a wall, it could be a counter, table, anything to give us some stability while we're doing this movement. And so we want to kind of lean forward and come up onto the balls of our feet. And once we get to the high point of how far we can get, we want to kind of hang out there. We want to hang out there and see if you can get to a place to where you can let go and still find that stable position to where you almost don't move. And you may find yourself shaking a little bit, because these are muscles that have not been used a whole lot. They've been restricted from their use to some degree as well. And so to be able to stand up on the balls of the feet really takes a lot of practice. And also, as I went through this journey, I also found that the more that I engaged my toes, the much more stability I created. And so, as you can see, I'm able to stand up here because I've been practicing this for a while and really maintain this without moving. And then we take it down to a very slow going down, because that'll help to find the full range of that, right down to where our feet are flat on the floor. And again, hold on to something. It is real important to do that so that you train the body without putting a whole lot of excess stress on it. To find these places, and you may find that you'll be shifting your feet around, and trying to find those places to really feel like you can get completely stable in here. And again, be patient with this. This is something that's not done, regularly, which I do regularly, if not every day. And sometimes I'll even be doing this while I'm standing in line at the grocery store, okay, or anything else that requires, just not doing much, and I can do some of this movement. And so I just want to practice this going up and down and try and do it as slow as possible, and even stop at different levels so that you can create this place of where the body can recognize I can be still here and hold myself and not really strain doing it. But again, in the beginning, it's going to be somewhat challenging because our feet have not been designed. And you can see that I'm doing these little bit of exercises here, getting much more range of motion in my feet as I move them around, and coming up and down, going out to the sides of the foot, getting out near the edge where I'm standing, almost using my outer 2 toes or 3 toes. And getting more, again, all my toes are being involved. But again, our toes have really been not used a lot in our lifetime. And as I have found, some of that is because of the shoes that we have been wearing that are restricting our toes from getting fully engaged. So practicing this on a daily basis and really just taking time, and it might be that one just goes up slightly. and just finds that. And he can move up and down right there just to get some slight movement and get that tissue moving so that it really understands and gets some movement in there. And just twisting it around and getting those joints lubricated and unhinged and unstuck from where they are. And they could be really stuck from years of not being used. So it's going to be quite a journey to do that. Our other exercise is the squat. And the squat helps us to really get a good focus on, getting more stability in our knees, in our hips, in our back, in our whole body. And it really requires a lot of really mindful movement. So again, find that place. It might be about shoulder width apart. And again, hold on to something. Okay, you can have it here, or we can have it in this direction here. So I got two hands on it. Okay, and I'm just very slowly, start slow, go to here. And really, and again, you may want to feel like you're sitting down when you're doing it. So you're almost sticking your butt out there a little bit to like you're getting ready to sit in a chair. And feel your feet really grounded to the floor and really engaged, like it wants to hold onto the floor as I'm going through this motion. And just very, very slowly, move through this entire range as much as you can. And if you come to a place where it feels struggling, stop, come back up, and then maybe readjust your feet, or just readjust your body. And you want to lift at your chest too, because you want to keep this upright position so that we get good posturing. Okay? And you can put your hands on your knees as you come down, and very slowly just keep working on coming down a little bit further, and just keep working this, and then come back up, and then maybe just readjust your feet again, and then go back down again, and keep going. And then, it might be a few days before you get a little further, or a few weeks, but keep working on it, because the more that you keep working on it, the better it keeps getting. And just like everything, the more that we practice it, the better we get going. And I went through this actually when I had a knee issue. And this is how I kind of came up with some of this, especially with the feet, is that the more that I squatted, the more that I felt I needed to engage my feet. And the more that I engaged my feet, the easier the process was. And then the big one was standing up from this position. And so I found that engaging my feet and driving from my feet, keeping my chest up, really helped me to feel so much more support and engagement of my body, to make it that much less effort to actually do this squat, to the point where now it's just up and down. And then you can play around with bringing the feet a little closer together and just trying different movements and hanging out here. Bring your hands out here. It acts as a little counterbalance sometimes. Okay? And you can play around with this movement. And again, feel your feet fully engaged and really grabbing a hold of the floor throughout the entire movement. That is probably one of the most important things, is keeping the feet fully engaged. So hopefully that tip will help you out with creating a much stronger and in alignment body as we go through this life. And hopefully it will even reduce a lot of the wear and tear so that we age gracefully without getting old. So enjoy your time with this. Take your time with it and just be playful with it. Okay? Because life is supposed to be playful. Okay? And let's make it as playful as we can. So until next time, ciao for now.